argued back then, and I still argue, that even at its worst, it was not an investment bubble, it was a reality bubble. There's a certain way that the technology industry, particularly in its relentless focus on consumer goods, electronic consumer goods, was missing a lot. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that this group was missing those things, but the world in which we live, focused on consumption, focused on pretty bugos, focused on advertising business models, selling things to people that they don't really need, was maybe in need of a challenge. You know, because underneath the word, still the seeds of this financial crisis, we have the worst income inequality since the Gilded Age. We had the oil price shock last year. I think we have more of them to come. Even though oil came back down, I think it's going back up. There's long-term problems like global warming. There's a real serious decline in science literacy and education. There's water scarcity, these exotic diseases. You know, we have aging populations, serious problems in healthcare. How are we going to pay for it? So all these kinds of problems, have been mounting for years, while we happily ignore them. And meanwhile, as I said back at that conference last year, what are our best and brightest doing? They're throwing sheep on Facebook. And there was something wrong with that picture to me, and that was when I really started focusing on this idea, urging all the people that I know in the technology world to think more deeply about what matters and to work on what matters. Now, a lot of people, when I started talking about that, thought they were saying, oh, you should work on nonprofits or social ventures. And I ran a lot of sessions where people would be brainstorming, and it would be amazing nonprofits. There are really cool nonprofits happening. I look at AfriGadget is this great blog that covers all the amazing technology that's happening in Africa. Wonderful nonprofits, wonderful innovation, stuff that's close to the hearts of everybody in this room. But I don't think that we should relegate what's important to the world of nonprofits, because that suggests that somehow that's other than the main thrust of our economy, the main thrust of our world. I think we need to reinvent our world so that we see we're